It was definitely time to check out Dollar Tree again because it's been a while since I've gone. I've been trying to use all the things I've accumulated over the year, and I decided, you know what, let's go ahead and check out Dollar Tree and see what they have. Obviously, they got back to school supplies. Great deal there on like the mechanical lead, and a lot of these things they have year round, but they do seem to have a lot more like composition books, which is also a great deal. And lots of great little doodads, things that could come really in handy for back to school. Even things as simple as a fidget that would be really cute on a child's backpack for back to school. In other countries, they often will have gifts for their kids on the first day of school. Actually, when I lived in Germany, they'd have like this like prize cone thing, stuff with candy and stuff that kids would open when they got to school. So I thought that was really special, and it might be kind of nice to do something like that for your children on the first day of school. It doesn't have to be candy, but I like the idea of like little quiet fidgets, things like that would be cool. These hole punchers, I don't think are greatest quality, but at least they give the outline of the mark of where the holes should be, and then we can go over them with a regular just one hole punch, hand hole punch. So I went ahead and grabbed that one. They still have the gladiolas, and I'll tell you what, when I first started having a garden, I having a flowers in my garden, I bought gladiolus bulbs from the Dollar Tree, and they did absolutely beautiful. And then you can propagate them because they will actually form corms, which are tiny little, almost like a bulb, really, really tiny. And so yeah, go ahead and grab yourself some of the gladiolas from Dollar Tree. I definitely approve. Looking through here, they do still have gardening supplies. They have school supplies. Isn't that cute? Reminds me of those like just hanging there kitten posters that were really popular when I was a kid. Yes, I'm barely a Gen Xer, but I do remember those posters, and they were very inspiring and comforting to me when I was growing up. I think the yellow highlighters are one of the best deals at Dollar Tree still today. I like the yellow ones, not the other ones, just because the other colors tend to bleed through. But the yellow is perfect, and they last a really long time, even compared to name brand. So that's a great deal. I always put them in my prize box at school too. So Dollar Tree highlighters, love them, especially that big pack. You have all these cute inspirational quote composition books. Make sure that if you're getting composition books, if the teacher has like some teachers, I know I'm a teacher too, but some teachers have very specific, like they want it to be like marbled look. I personally don't care. So I did look through some of like the little calendar books. Now a lot of schools have stopped providing like agendas for students or even letting you buy them from the school. So for $1.25, a paper student planner or agenda book would be really good for back to school, even for college students. I actually decided to grab two of them, one for my now middle schooler and my oldest who is going into college. So I thought, you know what? Let's go ahead and get two of them. I know everyone has phones these days, but there's something really powerful about writing something down and making sure that it gets done. Even things like, something's due on this day, a couple days before that, a little note to yourself, did you get it done yet? So that's something I'd really recommend as a teacher to parents if you're getting school supplies is grab a little agenda book or a little planner for your kids. I think it's really helpful. And encourage them to write down what did they learn today, and what is their homework, what did they not finish during the school day, to make sure that it gets done, because that is something that's happening in schools. A lot of schools are going away from homework, but whatever didn't get done during the school day is supposed to get done, so they should write that down before they forget it. That's definitely something. Pro tip. Yes, they still have these stackers for the garden, and I'm going to tell you, they look a lot better than they work. If you keep them in the shade, they're kind of okay. Um, Otherwise, they do fade and crack really quickly. So I found other pots at Dollar Tree that handle a lot better. Like the ones that look like little barrels work really well. And so far, the really large ones, they're like $5. I got the terracotta color, and those are lasting really well, and they're holding a lot of weight of soil. I love it. So I kind of thought this was kind of weird that Dollar Tree seemed to have like every holiday out. Like There is Halloween and Thanksgiving, there's Christmas, and even some Valentine's Day decor. So I was a little confused. I was like, where am I? Am I in Hobby Lobby? Because Hobby Lobby does put down like every holiday at once. Now, this reminds me of Little Shop of Horrors. I almost bought it, but I thought, um, we're a little far off for Halloween stuff, and I'd have to store it, and wouldn't couldn't I do something like this on my own, or is it necessary? So that's something I'm thinking about too. Is like just when it comes to like every penny counts, is thinking about things that maybe have dual use or that are especially high quality that are going to last more than a year. And I think that's really something to consider. Even like how like they have Christmas trees, right? You can buy a Christmas tree and decorate it with different holidays. I have a friend who does that with every season, and I think it's really clever. And you only have to have the one tree, and then you just swap out the ornaments. This does seem to have like hot glue little strings stuck all over the place. Kind of weird. I kind of like it as a combo. Like if you have like three of those clustered together, it does look kind of fun and creepy. I prefer to decorate with just real pumpkins and gourds and like the ornamental corn, like the dry corn. I love those as decorations, and then you can actually use them later. The socks, honestly, I think are one of the cutest things that they have at Dollar Tree, and they have like Moana. Is that Moana? They have like Mickey Mouse and Bambi. So many cute little things. So if you know somebody who likes certain characters, that might be a really good stocking stuffer. Or even if you get several together, it could make a gift, especially now with the economy the way it is. I decided, you know what? I'm not going to wait until December or even November to start Christmas shopping. I decided I'm going to go ahead and I grabbed several different types of pairs of socks. And I got from my little brother. My brother has Down syndrome and he loves his characters. And I thought, you know what? That's each one of those things could be something for him to open. And as an adult, it's kind of hard for him, like for us to find gifts for him sometimes. I was like, you know what? These are all his movies. He loves all these different movies. So I thought, you know what? Go ahead and grab all those, and that'll be individually wrapped. So he'll have like things to open on Christmas. And he gets excited. He just likes the idea that someone gave him something. And it's something that he'll think about. Like he can watch the movie and wear the socks. So I think that's really cute. And right now they're $1.25. I don't think they're going up in price because they don't all have the sticker. But I did see a red sticker on a lot of items at Dollar Tree, and I asked an associate there what the red sticker meant, and they said it means a price increase. And some of the items that I had picked out, not the socks, um, had that sticker, and they said to me that the price increase is going from $1.25 to $1.50. So I don't know if that's the case on everything, but I did see a lot of the blank red stickers, and that seemed to be the case with the things that I was picking. Down here, $6. Okay, so there's a red sticker on top of the old price, and those are marked at $6. Now, are they cuter than normal Dollar Tree stuff? Yeah, they are. Um, but that's $5 here for these little it's like a Christmas tree, but it's pumpkins with lights. And I actually thought that was really cute. They have things kind of like this at Hobby Lobby and Michael's, and they're a lot more expensive there. Now, are they better quality than other places? I don't know, maybe. I like this a lot, so I actually did buy this even though it was $5. I think it was $5. Was it more than $5? What's it say right there? No, was it $7? Was it $7? It was $7. Okay, yeah, I did buy it, and then I told this. I think I remember. I told the associate, I was like, I would have liked it a lot more if it was $5 instead of 7. um, do you think we could make something like that out of just fabric? I think we could. All we need to do is tie string around it once you sewed it. I think that'd be really simple to make. Um, I like the idea of garlands as a really cute decor. Like, I really don't decorate much when it comes to different holidays except for Christmas, but I've kind of gotten into the habit of buying at least a garland. And you know what? With the prices of those things, I was like, you know what? Making a garland is probably just as easy as buying one, and then it's more personalized. You could even use the same garland and just like put different things on it at different times. You could use clothespins to hold the things onto the garland. So, I've kind of debated whether to buy things at this point. Just thinking about the price increases and everything, and the economy the way it is. This was cute, but $7. I did not buy that, but I would have bought it if it was $1.25, obviously. Even if it was like, $1.50 or $2 or $3, I would have bought it, but not for that. So, Thanksgiving stuff, Halloween stuff, I was kind of like I said, confused. It was like this Dollar Tree. Um, I don't know. I don't think they realize how people get excited about certain holidays that stuff being out. So like I might go in, the beginning of September or end of September just because I want Halloween stuff. And I'd go in at the end of October, beginning of November for all the Thanksgiving stuff. But if you set out all the stuff at once, it kind of takes away from the excitement of like, oh, they've got that stuff out now. I'm not sure if I'm alone in that. Pop a comment if you feel that way. I just think having a lot of this stuff out at once, like all the different holidays, is besides just being confusing, it seemed kind of more cluttered. And in my brain doesn't want to process all of the holidays at once or all of the different events. I don't want to call Halloween a holiday, but I do like to decorate stuff with like, pumpkins and, orange and black. I think it's really cute. I usually go with like nature stuff or like harvest. I don't usually go with like the cauldrons and that kind of stuff. I'm not going to say I wouldn't. I think I had one black cauldron once that I filled with gourds and it was kind of funny. I did notice here that the candles are $1.50 instead of $1.25, and they're a lot. Is it my imagination? I feel like they're a lot smaller. They felt a lot smaller. I'm not sure if that's just because I'm getting older. You know how when you get older, you think things are smaller? I don't know. Like, I wasn't a child the last time I held a candle. um, they do have these like little sampler size um oils. I don't know what they smell like. And I don't know if there's like anything weird about them. Go ahead and pop a comment if you've bought some of this before. How do you like their essential oils? Are they, I'm sure they're not for topical use. Um, One thing about the metal pots is you can like have another pot inside of it. Just be careful that they don't get wet because they will get rusty. But I thought that pot was kind of cute. I did go ahead and buy one of these because I was thinking for stocking stuffers for one of my nieces, who likes to be a princess. And I was like, you know what? She could make a crown out of that. She could make a, little makeshift costume and add you know, all the fancy stuff, glam it up. So I was like, you know what? For $1.25, I'm going to go ahead and grab that. You could even use something like this for making greeting cards. Like if you wanted to like do like a frame around the greeting card, like a handmade greeting card. And then for a little girl's princess birthday party, that would be really cute. Or even making like a crown or something. I like the fans there that it just showed just for a second. But one thing I would recommend is maybe going over the edges where it connects with like maybe hot glue, because they do tend to come apart. Um, and sometimes the little pieces that keep it together that would fan open, those will come off the fabric. So I don't throw them away when that happens. I would just go ahead and repair them. And they can last a really long time that way. I didn't buy this, but cross stitch, I don't know. It's like I was thinking when I was looking at this stuff, I could make my own little craft kits as gifts for family members, because um, I'm not adjusting very well to the price hikes. And I've been thinking, there has to be a way to scale back on gifts. Like I can't afford to pay $50 for every relative in the family for Christmas. And so I thought, you know what, for some of the kids, maybe putting together little craft kits with instructions and like, you know, suggestions of what they could do for a craft gift, a craft, maybe crafting ornaments would be a cute idea. But that might be something to do. Also, here, look here. So $1.25 for these little vases. Now they are like that shellac, not shellac, that smooth, glossy paint on the inside. So they should hold water. So then you could color and paint the outside of these. So that could be a really great project to do. Now I have gone to the ceramic shops like that they have, and they're very pricey. A project like that would probably be about $30. Um, and you know what? They end up breaking. The only reason I would want to go there instead would be if it was something for that needed to be used for food. And like obviously that's not going to be food safe. But if you're making a vase and that one holds water, you might as well just buy it there here at the Dollar Tree. You could stain it. You could, watercolor. You could use anything on it. I think it would be really adorable. Great project idea. I think that would be great for a family craft night. So they have all kinds of great stuff here for the crafting. Even like the lozenge size craft sticks, they have those. Those are really fun and useful. The wood peg dolls, I haven't seen them before at Dollar Tree. This is the first time I ever saw them at Dollar Tree, and they are adorable. They remind me of the old-fashioned clothespins, and I used to make those into dolls when I was a kid. So I thought, you know what, get one that where they're all the same height, and get one that looks like different heights, like a family, so you could have a whole little village. And I thought, you know what, this would make a really good craft gift for Christmas time for one of my nieces. I thought that would be like a whole little family and maybe the little friends to go with them. And then they could paint it. And they could use a yarn for hair and googly eyes and stuff like that. So that would it wouldn't just be a toy, it would be an activity, and it would also be art. And they could also build a little house to go with it. When I was a kid, I had friends who had like doll houses, and I didn't have one. And I would build mine out of books that I would stack on top of each other. I would make my doll clothes out of like washcloths and all kinds of weird stuff. And you know what? That was really creative and I had a lot of fun. And I think I had more fun than the kids who actually had the doll houses. So, giving kids things that are crafty, we really need to get kids thinking creatively because all too often they are enjoying the creativity of others, but they're not using their own melons. And it really is good for them to have to like struggle and use fine motor skills and think about what they're going to do, plan things out. So I went ahead and grabbed those two things. I think that's a great deal. And now I saw the heart stuff. What the heck, you guys, Dollar Tree? Is it Valentine's Day or what? So now I know that these people usually use these on the walls, and you could use them just like for stickers. You could use them on notebooks to personalize it. If you buy a personalized notebook, it goes from being $1.25 to being a lot more, right? You could just buy a basic one and then use the stickers, these really cute stickers, to make it more high end. And like honestly, these probably would not look good on walls. My personal thing, I don't think they would, but you could use it on picture frames, all kinds of stuff. You can make personalized greeting cards, whatever. And so go ahead, check out this area here. I think those are really a good deal. I always get my sponges from the Dollar Tree, and they do have a red dot on them, which means the prices are going to go up if they haven't already. So I did have them do a price check for me on the things that they had a dot on. They charged me $1.25, but they told me those items were most likely going to be $1.50 pretty soon. I can't, like I said, I can't speak for every item. There might be some items that are going to be more than that. Like you saw that little Halloween pumpkin tree thing that lights up was $7. I did buy it though because I've seen things like that for $15 at Michael's, and I always wanted to have like one for every season. I think they're really cute. Um, Now, I don't need any hair accessories, but of all the places to go to get hair accessories, I only basically shop at the Dollar Tree because I lose stuff, and if I'm going to lose it, it might as well be $1.25. So, these are actually pretty good. Like, I'd always like feel out the clamps and see how good they are. Can I get the quality? Some of them are really nice and some of them are really cheap. Cheap as in like not good quality. So just kind of feel them and see if they have a good like spring to them when you're trying to open up the claw of the hair thingamabobber. Now, like again, here we're back to socks again. I like to buy the fleece scarves and I also like to buy socks at the Dollar Tree because my washing machine and dryer, it has like this little sock monster in there that likes to like suck out socks or something. And I'm like, you know what? Better $1.25 sock goes missing than one that costs $7 or $8. I just can't believe that something that goes on your feet can cost so much. But you want to have things that are comfortable, and some people really swear by like athletic socks and that they like things to fit differently. I don't care. But I do like the Elvis ones. I didn't buy them because I don't know anybody who's obsessed with Elvis. But if I did, I would definitely have gotten them because they were super cute. And I haven't seen those there. I've seen like a lot of like the Swedish fish and Pop Tart things and like, you know, the other different kinds of novelty socks, but not Elvis. So if you're obsessed with Elvis, you might want to drop by your Dollar Tree and see if they have the novelty socks. They're really cute. Um, I really like that body wash, and I do like these towelettes because it's nice to keep them in the car, just for washing your hands or kids got a messy face or something. Um, we also like Irish Spring. I usually buy the Dove sensitive because most of the people in my family have very sensitive skin. For those of us who don't have sensitive skin, we go with the Irish Spring because it has such a wonderful smell. But the sensitive soap, if you buy it at a regular store, like even like Walgreens or Walmart, I still think the Dollar Tree is a good deal. Bandages are a great deal. That box had a ton in there, 110 for $1.25. I don't know if you can beat that price. So I went ahead and grabbed a box of those. I should have probably grabbed two. It's still a good deal to get a couple chapsticks. Now it's not the name brand chapsticks for $1.25, but I went ahead and grabbed them. I love Ricola cough drops. They're the normal one. Basically those are the only cough drops I can really handle. You don't get very many for the price, but it's name brand and they're really good quality. So like they're really nice. For me, for whenever I have a cough, the Ricola brand seems to work the best for me. So um, I generally keep a bag or two at home all the time. These gummy bears they're not really gummy bears. They're a different brand, but they're much better than gummy bears, by the way. My argue with me in the comments if you want to, but I thought the other brand, they are softer. They're not as like plasticky. So this is the place. I don't really eat candy anymore. Like I'll just have like one piece of somebody else's. But this is the place to buy candy. I used to always go to Walgreens and they'd have a bin 10 for 10, and they don't do that anymore for sure. And each of those little things of candy are like $3 at least. So you're saving at least, you know, at least half price by shopping here. They also have a really good assortment of um, candy that's good for diabetics or people who are low carbing. Like I have an almost low carb lifestyle, and so I do like the sugar free Werther's, the originals. They're my favorite. And they also have like the Russell Stover sugar free. Be careful with sugar free because it might make you sick if you have too much. But if you have willpower to just have one piece, they are very nice to have when you're having that sweet tooth. But this reminds me of when I was a kid and we would buy candy before we would go to the movie theater because it is so stinking expensive. That will get you kicked out, by the way. But go ahead and check them out for candies and stuff like that. I don't know if I'm going to go as crazy as I have in the past buying candy for my classroom because the school never really reimburses me for that kind of stuff. So I'm trying to work on ways to build intrinsic motivation. I might still buy some candy because the kids just love it so much. I just buy like the butterscotch, the spicy cinnamon, and the strawberry ones, the ones that have like jelly filling. The kids love that. And these are 12 and 13-year olds. We call them grandma candies, and they will use all their PBIS points to buy grandma candy. I might have to limit them though. So ramen's here. You get 5 packs for $1.25, and that's the chicken flavor, which I think is my favorite. But not super healthy. I didn't buy them, and then I regretted it because then as soon as I got home, my youngest son was like, "Mom, can I have some top ramen?" And I was like, "I don't have any. Sorry, buddy." Um, Trying to be healthier, even for the kids, just trying to get more nutrients and stuff into them. So, but 4 or 5 packages for $1.25, that's a really good deal still. So, I don't need any of these items. I think I might have gotten a grater because I bought a grater online and it was literally the size of an elf. It was tiny. Yeah, that happens sometimes when you're buying stuff online. So I think I might have got one because I use them to, I think this sounds weird. I use them for my laundry soap. I use like the bars of Zote soap, and that's really helpful. I also use them in my classroom when we do wax labs for shredding up the paraffin wax. It makes it melt a lot faster. So I wanted to have separate cheese graters than what we use for cheese because that I don't want to get soap in our food and stuff. Anyway, so I did go ahead and buy some of these temporary tattoos also for Christmas time. I hope my niece is not watching this. But I thought that would be really cute. I've got a little tote together where I'm putting together Christmas stuff for next year and little treats and stuff. It's really coming in handy getting prepared for birthdays and Christmas ahead of time. That way I can be more frugal and I can still be generous. They can have lots of little things together to have a really cute gift, but I'm not going to be spending all the money all at once, all at Christmas time. So kind of spreading it out over the course of the whole year and have all those gifts in a tote. I think that's a really good idea. So if I hadn't explained that very well, what I was saying is I have a big tote, and throughout the year, what I'm doing is I'm buying Christmas presents and birthday presents throughout the entire year, and I'm putting them in the tote. And then when that time comes around, I don't have to spend all of that money all at once. Because when we get to the end of the month of December, we don't have enough money for groceries at the end of the month. So I'm like, okay, go ahead, use this idea. I think it's fabulous to like kind of spread that out over the year. Also, buying stuff after the holidays when they're marked down is a great idea. So, little things I noticed about Dollar Tree on this trip were they had everything out. It was school supplies, all the back to school stuff, Christmas. They didn't have Easter out. And they did have Valentine's Day, Christmas, Thanksgiving, Halloween all at once. It was super weird. Really, really weird. I wonder why they're doing that. I don't know if they have enough stock to keep the shelves full or something, but I thought it was kind of weird that they had everything out. It was amazing how many red dots there were on everything, saying that the prices are going to go up, 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 up. And so $1.25 turning to $1.50. And then like some items are $6, $7, and even higher. With these rising costs, making shopping a little bit less fun, our next video will most likely be about gardening, and that's always fun. All right, everybody, be good, be sweet, go garden if you want to eat, and I will see you next time.